Today's video is brought to you by Luster, a totally free tool that will help you find the right product depending on your budget and needs. Browse expert ratings, YouTube reviews, and Reddit discussion summaries all at your fingertips. Get the best deal by easily comparing prices across top retailers and track their price changes so you know the best times to buy. Get started by checking out the Luster link in the description below. What is going on, guys? Today we're checking out a pair of true wireless earbuds from a phone brand that you may have already heard of. Today we're checking out the OnePlus Buds. But before we jump into the details on these guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is JDubb, and I'm here to help you guys make a better tech buying decision. Now, if that sounds cool to you, please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of my latest reviews. Now, with that said, let's check them out. Now, first things first, let's talk about design. Now, the design of the case is a style that we're getting very comfortable seeing from phone brand companies, right? So AirPod-like, Pixel Bud-like, these look more like a pair of Apple products, in my opinion, with kind of the metal hinge on the back here. You've got your pairing button on the back. You've got your USB-C charging port on the bottom. You've got your LED indicator on the front, kind of telling you what's going on. And then you have the formed lid with the earbuds tucked safely inside. So nothing really, ultra exciting going on here. With these guys, you get 30 hours of total battery life. They're supposed to get 7 hours on a single charge. My experience so far has been about 6 hours and 15 minutes on a single charge on the earbuds themselves, listening at about 80% volume. So they're pretty close. They're getting there. I would say if you got trying to drop down to that 60, 75% volume level, you'd probably be able to get yourself up to that 7 hours on a single charge. But overall, it's a pretty good, experience and performance. The great thing about the case for the most part is that it's very smooth. It's gonna fit in pockets very well. This is definitely a pocket-friendly little pouch, right? It's gonna slide in and out. There's not a sharp edge on this entire thing, so that's great. Purses, pockets, things like that, you're gonna be good to go. So overall, the presentation is solid. It is a very clean look. There's a reason why they're doing this, why everybody's doing this, because it's trendy and it looks good and it's very functional. So OnePlus, again, coming in industry standard on that front. Now, the earbuds themselves is where they kind of took a turn. It is the bulb and stem style earbud, very reminiscent of the AirPods. The head of these, if you're looking at it from the back, minus this other part over here, if you're looking at it from this side, it looks very much like a standard AirPod. Now, when you turn it on its side, you'll notice that it is a little kind of set apart from the stem itself. So the stem kind of comes up into another portion here. The touchpad itself is a very distinct looking pad, like a flat surface, where the AirPods are kind of have that encased, enclosed touch sensor in there. So they definitely went with a different style from that perspective, but it is very reminiscent of the AirPods themselves. One thing that's nice though is that with that functionality, you do get some of the cool functions of these. You've got the in-ear sensor, right? So it will automatically play and pause. You've got a much more dedicated touch point, in my opinion. So when they're in your ear, and you're reaching up and you're trying to find the point of where you're gonna make contact to actually use the touch controls, the flat kind of very distinct pad is nice and makes it easy for you to kind of find that and manipulate it. So once you get used to these, I think they're a little bit more touch intuitive than the Apple AirPods themselves, but it is, once again, very reminiscent of those products. So, but it just works. It's a solid design, and it just works. Now, one thing I will mention though is it does suffer from the same design issues that you run into with an AirPod style earbud, right? These do not have gel tips of any kind, and without a gel tip, you don't get that seal, right? The seal with earbuds is probably one of the most important parts when it comes to sound quality, them staying in your ears, right? And overall comfort level, right? And that is one thing that the AirPods don't do that well. And here we do see that is once again kind of the factor, right? The OnePlus Buds, not the most comfortable earbuds I've ever used. If you like AirPods, you'll like these. If you don't like AirPods, you probably won't like these. So once again, if you're looking for just the ease of putting them in and having them kind of with that, having that AirPod-ish style look, then these are gonna be great for you. These are definitely something to look at, but don't expect the highest quality sound because again, there is no seal in your ear. Now, with that in mind, with sound in mind, how do they sound? Well, I mean, again, audio bleed is going to be an issue, right? You're gonna hear outside noise and then the audio from your earbuds is going to leak out of the space that is not being sealed up in your ear, right? So they don't seal well. I'm just gonna put that out there. They don't seal well for me, right? And it might be my ear shape. Some people love Apple AirPods. I am definitely not a fan of that style. I prefer a gel ear tip or a foam tip, something that is going to help me completely seal the ear canal and get audio quality from that. Now, I will say these get very loud and they are a bassier pair of earbuds. Again, very reminiscent of the AirPods. So if you like the sound that you get from the standard AirPods, right? That kind of bass, heavier audio, you know, that deep, more thrumming bass that kind of does tend to bleed into the mids and kind of pull the highs down a little bit. These are gonna be very reminiscent of that. You're gonna be kind of getting that same experience. They are coming in a little bit cheaper. And as usual, you can check the link in the description below to find the latest price on these guys. But you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna get a very, very similar experience with these earbuds, right? As you would with the Apple AirPods. Now, one thing I will mention is just like the Apple AirPods, the OnePlus Buds are very unique to their platform. Now, these will work with any Bluetooth enabled device. You can use these on an iPhone, you can use these on any Android device. However, if you wanna have full control over some of the button functionality and things like that, you're gonna be needing a OnePlus device. So I would say these are going to be something that a OnePlus phone user should definitely be considering if they're looking for something that's going to integrate with their device pretty well. If you're an outsider using a different device like myself, I use a Pixel 5. If you use an iPhone, you're gonna lose a little bit of functionality. Now again, they will work, but you're not gonna get those really cool extra features that you would if you had a OnePlus device. So at the end of the day, what is the verdict? They're solid as far as, you know, for the price point, which they are at currently. I would say they're a solid product across the board, just kind of being able to accomplish all of the goals. They don't do anything specifically better than other products on the market. Let's put it that way. If you're looking at the OnePlus Buds because you like OnePlus products, you want to support that brand, you've got a OnePlus device, these are a great option for you. I think these are gonna be a great, you know, part of that ecosystem, let's say. Outside of that, if you don't use OnePlus, right, you don't really like the AirPods style, I would say there's plenty of other products that you could go with at better price points, the same price point and more expensive than the OnePlus Buds. So for me, I'm not gonna put a huge recommendation on these unless, again, you're in that OnePlus ecosystem and you wanna kind of stay there. Outside of that, I'm not a huge fan of this style overall. So for me, I can't 100% recommend them. But guys, as usual, I'm curious to hear what you think. Do you think these are something to consider? Do you have them? Actually, that's a great question. If you have them and you don't use a OnePlus device, or you do, hit me up down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. What do you think about these earbuds? Have you heard about them? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. And I try to reply to as many comments as I possibly can. But as usual, guys, that is it for me, and I will see you in the next review.